Understanding Nominalism. Welcome to our deep dive into one of philosophy's most intriguing and long-standing debates, nominalism. Today, we'll unravel this complex topic, examining its historical roots, comparing it with realism, and exploring its impact on modern thought and language. Whether you're a student of philosophy or simply curious about the conceptual frameworks that shape our understanding of the world, this exploration of nominalism promises to be both enlightening and thought-provoking. Nominalism is a philosophical viewpoint that challenges the existence of universal concepts outside of their specific instances. At its core, it questions whether universals, qualities or properties that can be shared by multiple objects, exist independently of the particular things that exhibit them. In simple terms, nominalism asserts that universals are merely names or nominal terms we use to categorize our experiences and perceptions, not separate entities with their own reality. To illustrate, consider redness, a characteristic we use to describe objects like apples, fire trucks, and roses. Under nominalism, redness does not exist as a standalone concept. It only exists when we observe these red objects. This idea shakes the very foundation of how we traditionally think about categories and universals. The philosophical debate over the existence of universals is an age-old conundrum. Philosophers have long wondered whether these categories exist as tangible realities or are merely constructs of the human mind. Do concepts like beauty, justice, or courage exist independently, or are they simply convenient labels we use to describe collections of similar experiences? Nominalism takes a definitive stance on this issue, arguing that universals are nothing more than linguistic constructs used for ease of communication. This perspective invites us to rethink how we categorize and understand the world, prompting a deeper examination of the language we use. The stance of nominalism is clear. Universals do not exist independently, but are instead a byproduct of the names we assign to specific objects and concepts. For a nominalist, categories like dog or tree do not represent real universal entities but are convenient groupings based on shared characteristics. To further clarify, let's consider another example, the concept of animal. In nominalism, there is no universal essence of animal. Instead, it is a term used to refer to creatures with certain biological features. Whether we're talking about a dog, a bird, or a whale, animal is a label we apply based on observable traits, not a universal concept that exists on its own. Nominalism has deep historical roots reaching back to the medieval period. Its emergence during this time marked a significant shift in philosophical thought. Medieval philosophers grappled with metaphysical questions regarding the nature of reality and the existence of universals, setting the stage for later developments in nominalism. One of the most notable proponents of nominalism was the medieval philosopher William of Ockham. He insisted that one should not assume the existence of more entities than necessary, a principle now famously known as Occam's razor. This principle promotes simplicity in explanations and argues against the existence of universals as independent entities. William of Ockham played a pivotal role in developing nominalist thought. Occam's razor, his most renowned contribution, is a methodological principle that suggests entities should not be multiplied beyond necessity. In simpler terms, it encourages simplicity and cautions against unnecessary assumptions. In the context of nominalism, Occam's razor implies that accepting universals as real, independent entities is an unnecessary assumption. Instead, we should adopt the simpler explanation that universals are merely names we give to collections of similar objects. Occam's influential arguments have left an enduring impact on philosophy, shaping nominalist thought and encouraging a more parsimonious approach to metaphysics. To fully appreciate nominalism, we must understand its counterpart, realism. Realism, in philosophical terms, asserts that universals do exist independently of the specific instances that exemplify them. In other words, realists believe that concepts like beauty, justice, or redness have an existence separate from the objects or experiences that display them. Realism posits a metaphysical realm where these universals reside, influencing our understanding and shaping the way we perceive the world. For realists, the concept of redness would exist as an ideal form, independent of the red objects we encounter. The core difference between nominalism and realism lies in their respective views on the existence of universals. Nominalism asserts that universals are mere names without any independent reality, while realism argues that universals are real entities existing outside our perceptions. This fundamental difference has profound implications for our understanding of reality. It influences how we perceive categories, concepts, and even the language we use. While realism suggests a structured and universal order to existence, nominalism encourages us to view our categorizations as human constructs, potentially varying across cultures and contexts. Nominalism's influence extends beyond medieval thought, impacting modern philosophy in significant ways. Contemporary philosophers often revisit nominalist principles when discussing the nature of concepts, language, and reality. Its emphasis on linguistic constructs and the human role in creating categories resonates with modern philosophical inquiries into the nature of language and consciousness. For instance, nominalism plays a role in debates about the meaning of words and the connections between linguistic categories and our experiences. The idea that categories like beauty or truth are constructed by language and cultural context has informed various philosophical theories, enhancing our understanding of semantics and interpretation. Nominalism's impact is not limited to philosophy alone. It also extends to the field of science. The philosophy's emphasis on observable characteristics and caution against unnecessary metaphysical assumptions align well with scientific inquiry. In scientific paradigms, nominalism encourages a focus on empirical evidence and observable phenomena rather than abstract universals. This approach informs scientific methodology, emphasizing the importance of data and experimentation over untestable metaphysical claims. By concentrating on specifics and rejecting unnecessary assumptions, nominalism aligns closely with scientific principles and practices. Nominalism also significantly influences language theory. The idea that universals are linguistic constructs permeates discussions on semantics, the philosophy of language, and linguistic relativity. The notion that words and categories are human-made constructs affects how we think about language and meaning. Under nominalism, words gain significance through shared usage and cultural conventions rather than possessing inherent meanings. This view encourages us to consider how language shapes our perceptions and understandings, and fosters inquiry into how linguistic differences might lead to diverse interpretations of reality. While philosophical in nature, nominalism's ideas extend into everyday life, impacting how humans perceive and categorize their surroundings. Nominalist thought challenges individuals to consider the labels they apply to experiences, questioning whether these labels reflect inherent truths or subjective interpretations influenced by culture and context. This perspective can prompt engaging discussions about differing perspectives, encouraging individuals to explore how cultural contexts shape perceptions and categorizations. Through its challenges to established norms, nominalism inspires thoughtful discourse on varied aspects of life. No philosophical perspective is without its critics, and nominalism is no exception. Common criticisms against nominalism often question whether rejecting the reality of universals leads to an overly simplistic view of the world. Detractors argue that understanding the world through mere categorization might overlook the complexities and connections inherent in universal ideas. Some philosophers suggest that nominalism may undermine concepts that enhance our understanding, such as moral and ethical principles. The debate between nominalism and philosophical opposition fosters rich discussion about the nature of reality and human perception. To further illustrate nominalism, let's delve into practical examples that highlight the philosophy's principles. Consider the concept of love. This term encompasses various emotions, actions, and experiences. From a nominalist perspective, love isn't a singular, universal entity. It represents a set of relationships and feelings, categorized under a common term for ease of discussion and understanding. Similarly, we can analyze the notion of success. While many strive for success, the term itself is subjective, shaped by cultural, individual, and contextual factors. Nominalism encourages us to recognize that definitions and categories are constructs influenced by perspectives rather than existing as singular truths. Throughout this video, we've explored how nominalism starkly contrasts with realism. This comparative analysis amplifies our understanding of broad philosophical questions and how they shape our interpretations of existence. Nominalism's insistence on observable facts encourages pragmatic thinking and flexibility in understanding complex concepts. Meanwhile, realism's notion of independent universals suggests consistency and stability in categorization. Together, these perspectives provide insights into how philosophical frameworks influence our understanding of the world. As we conclude this journey through nominalism, let's recap the core concepts we've explored. We've examined the definition of nominalism as a philosophy that questions the reality of universals, asserting that they are mere names used to categorize our experiences. We've delved into its historical emergence, notably through William of Ockham and his principle of Occam's razor. Reflecting on the significance of philosophical perspectives like nominalism can profoundly impact how we understand reality, language, and human experiences. By questioning assumptions and exploring new philosophical avenues, nominalism encourages us to embrace curiosity and open-mindedness as we navigate life's complexities. As you finish watching this video, take a moment to reflect on your personal experiences and how you perceive categories and universals. How do you define abstract concepts, and what influences those definitions? Engaging with these questions brings philosophical ideas to life and enhances your understanding of the world. We invite you to share your thoughts and perspectives in the comments section below. What do you think about nominalism and its implications? How does it influence your understanding of categories and universal concepts? Join us in this philosophical dialogue and contribute to the exploration of world-changing ideas. Thank you for joining us on this thought-provoking journey into nominalism. We hope this exploration has sparked curiosity and deeper insight into the philosophical ideas that shape how we perceive reality. If you're eager to delve further into related topics, stay tuned for upcoming content that continues our exploration of philosophical ideas. Until then, be sure to question, explore, and remain open to new ideas as you navigate the complexities of the world. There are quite a few special people interested in philosophy today. If you are one of them and this content is good for you, don't forget to subscribe to Philosophy Universe for more.